All right, so today we're going to move into solving inequalities. So we're moving into the next step of solving inequalities in this chapter, and we're going to still be graphing them. So let's go ahead and take a minute and do a little graphing. So get your notes out, go ahead and graph those, and let's get ready to go. Okay, let's see how you did. So remember, when we are graphing on a number line, there's a couple of things we need to have. So we need to have a 0, and then we also need to have the number. So positive 3 is going to be to the right, 1, 2, 3. And I know that is an open circle, and that says less than. So I know that is going to be going to the left. And my solutions are going to be anything smaller than 3. Anything smaller than 3. And the next one, I've got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That one is an open circle, a closed circle, and it's going to the right. And my solutions are anything bigger than 5. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, etc. Okay, so let's go ahead and see if we can write the inequalities. So hit pause and write the inequalities. So I want x, I want the inequality, and I want a number. Okay, so obviously this is going to be x and 1. Figure out what goes in that spot. Which one of these is it going to be? All right, let's see how you did. So I have x. It's a closed circle, so I know it has to be one of these two. It's pointing to the right, so I know it's going to be greater than or equal to. The second one is just greater than. So x is greater than or equal to, or x is less than or equal to. Next one is going to be x and 1, but it's less than or equal to. And the last one is x is less than 1. So hopefully you got those signs right. Remember, there's a difference between open circles and closed circles. So this one is closed into the left, closed into the right. And then I have open to the left, open to the right. Okay, so when we're solving inequalities, there's only one thing that is actually different, and that comes in when we're multiplying or dividing by negative. So we'll look at what changes on problem number 3. But the process to solve these is exactly like solving equations. Okay, so I'm going to get the x by itself. So how do I move the negative 4? Well, I add 4. So that's very simple. So x is going to be less than 12. So I have a 12, I have a 0. I know I'm open circle and I'm to the left. Okay, let's look at the next one. I got to move the 16. Well, that's a positive 16, so the opposite is going to be subtraction. So p greater than or equal to, that's going to be a negative 2. So 0 and negative 2, closed circle to the right. Okay, why don't you hit pause and see if you can solve this next problem. Okay, let's see how you did. I need to move the 6. So I am multiplying by 6. So this is gone. X less than or equal to negative 72. So 0, negative 72. It is a closed circle to the left. Okay, so here's where things change. Okay, notice how when we are multiplying or dividing by a negative, we are going to flip the sign. Okay, we're going to flip the sign. So on this problem, I am dividing by a negative 15. Okay, I'm dividing by a negative 15. So this crosses out. I have t, and 60 divided by 15 is going to be 4. Well, here's the change. This guy is going to flip. Okay, this is going to flip. And that only happens if we are multiplying or dividing by a negative number. Otherwise, we solve exactly the same way as we solve equations. So this would be a 0 and a 4, open circle to the left. Okay, so why don't you hit pause and see what you can do with problem number 1 and problem number 2. All right, let's see how you did. I'm adding my 6. So I have 9x equals 72. I'm dividing by 9, so x is going to equal, not going to be equal, you change that sign. X is going to be greater than 8. Notice how this was no flip. Okay, it's no flip because this was a positive 9. So I have my 8 and my 0, open circle to the right. Okay, so steps on this next one, in case I was struggling, I have divide 3 plus 7, so minus 7 times 3, so minus 7. So d over 3 less than or equal to negative 18. And then I'm multiplying by 3. So let's go ahead and do that. 18 times 3, that's 24. Carry 1, so that's going to be 40. Oh, carry 2, that's going to be 54. So d, so times 3, d is less than or equal to negative 54 because I'm multiplying by a negative. So negative 54, here's my 0, closed circle to the left. All right, let's look at this next one. So I have times a negative 5.2, so it's going to be divide by negative 5.2. So that's going to be important. And then I also have plus 14.9, so minus 14.9. All right, let's see how we do. So we're going to subtract. Okay, and I need to pull up my Desmos graphing calculator. So let me get that real quick, or my Desmos scientific calculator. All right, so we have 20.1 minus 14.9. 20.1 minus 14.9 gives me 5.2. That gives me 5.2. Let me make this a split screen so we're not having to run back and forth here, because we will be making use of it on these next couple problems, I'm sure. So if you haven't already put your Desmos calculator on your screen, you might want to do that, or have another calculator handy. Okay, so I've got 5.2, so negative 5.2 n and less than positive 5.2. So I'm dividing. Okay, so I am dividing by a negative. And if I remember right, that is a problem. So this one is going to flip. Okay, this is going to flip. So n greater than negative 1. And I'm going to go ahead and graph this one over here because I wrote all over that side. So 0 and negative 1. It is an open circle to the right. Open circle to the right. Okay, so that is pretty much what you have to remember when you are solving multi-step equations or two-step equations. Remember, the only thing that is different is flip when you multiply or divide by a negative number. Okay, so if I see negative 2x plus 5 is less than or equal to 12, that tells me I'm going to flip. Okay, if I see 2x minus 5 and a 12, this is positive. This one is no flip. Okay, that's a no flip. So why don't you go ahead and get started on your homework today, and let's see how you do. Watch those signs. Make sure that you're not missing a flip, and come with questions.